Get going. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out today. As always, before I turn it over to Coach Roberts, just a few announcements, a few reminders for everyone. This weekend is the Larry Lacewell era reunion, so we'll have several former coaches and former players at the game. If you need to get in touch with them beforehand, please let me know. Also, we do have food, so please stick around after we're done and grab something to eat. And then finally, any credential requests or anything like that that you need, please touch base with me as well. So with that said, I'll turn it over to Coach Roberts.
Okay. Thank you, Jerry. Excited about this week. As we reviewed the film from last week, we're very pleased with the way that we played. We got a break early in the ball game, got great pressure on the quarterback when the first play from scrimmage after great kickoff coverage, and able to create a turnover with the interception by Tyrell Johnson. Biggest thing about that is we were able to take the ball 7 plays and score and go up 7-0 after a very short amount of time had passed. I was real pleased with our effort and our passion throughout the ball game. We got 3 sacks on the quarterback, 3 interceptions, caused a fumble. I was really pleased with the effort that we had defensively. Thought we got after the quarterback a lot. Even when we weren't getting sacks, we were getting a lot of pressure and forcing him to throw the ball before he was ready or get out of the pocket and have to throw on the run. Really pleased with our defensive effort, holding them under 200 yards. We beat a team that had lost their previous 4 games by a total of 11 points to Maryland, South Florida, Bowling Green, and Middle Tennessee by 25 points, and our defense sort of set the tone for us there. Offensively, our offensive line played extremely well. Reginald Arnold had 142 yards, ran the football extremely tough, had 41 yards of rushing after contact, which is really a good number for us. But what that also says is out of his 142, 101 of them were prior to him being touched, which is a tribute to the guys up front, our offensive line, and receivers blocking downfield, and the fullbacks doing their job. So I was real pleased with that performance. Both of our quarterbacks played very well. Travis Hewitt had 2 rushing touchdowns and led 4 scoring drives on the night. And then Corey Leonard came in and played well for us as well. So real pleased with that. As we turn our attention to this week's ball game, a chance to go 2-0 in conference is something that's obviously very big for us. We have to win our home games. We have to win our conference games in order to have a chance to repeat as Sun Belt Conference champions and go to the New Orleans Bowl. Glad to be 1-0, but we have a very stiff challenge this week with Monroe coming into town. They do a lot of things that present you with a lot of problems, especially with what they do offensively. Kinsman Lancaster, their quarterback, takes over for Stephen Giles, who was the conference's most valuable player last year, and they haven't missed a beat. Matter of fact, I think Kinsman Lancaster will be a better quarterback than Giles was. He's a guy that you have to defend as a quarterback because he can throw the ball very successfully. He had 377 yards passing against Kansas, but you also have to defend him as a running back. He runs the football like a running back. He does a lot of things, and they ran the football very effectively against Alabama. So we have our work cut out to defend what they do offensively. Defensively, do a lot of stuff. Everything from 3-man lines, 2-man lines, to what we call wild, with nobody down in the stance at the line of scrimmage, just trying to confuse you, to just more from all of that stuff to more traditional defenses that you have to prepare for as well. So hopefully we can get a body on a body and get some movement and establish a run and open up some things in the running game. Kevin Payne is their leader defensively from the safety position. Very, very good football player. One of the leaders in tackles in the Sun Belt Conference. He's a guy that rarely comes off the field. He's also their punter, averaging 44.1 per punt so far this year, which tops our conference. He also returns punts and returns kicks. So he's a player that you have to be aware of at all times. It is a Larry Lacewell reunion era this weekend. Excited to have all of those guys that played during those years back in town to support our football team, and we're excited about having them to be a part of this contest against Monroe. Any questions?
How important is it for you guys to start off 2-0? You mentioned that briefly, but go a little bit deeper on it.
Well, last year we started off 1-1, and we were still able to meet our goals. This year that would be more difficult if we were to be 1-1, because last year we won our home game and then lost a road game on the next week in conference. Having won the road game first this year, we need to make sure we win the home game in order to balance things out for us. So we have played very well at home. We're 6-0 at home, hoping to make that 7-0, and more importantly, 2-0 in conference play. But it's going to be a tremendous battle, but it's something that's very important for our football team.
Is there a revenge factor at all in you guys' mind when Monroe comes to town because of what happened?
We don't talk about all that stuff very much. We did not play well early in that ball game, dug ourselves into a little bit of a hole. We came back out in the second half and played very well. And then kicked a field goal, a 50-yard field goal by Eric Nyhouse with 1 minute and 22 seconds to put us up. And unfortunately, they returned the kickoff to a decent place on the field, had decent field position, and then we made 2 critical mistakes in our pass coverage there in the ball game, and allowed them an opportunity to score. They may have made those plays anyway, but I would love to have made them have to work for those plays to get in the end zone the last 20 minute, 22 seconds like they did last year.
Obviously, Little Rock's an important place for the Indians. Just found out that the game's going to be on TV here in town on Comcast. How important is that for you guys?
Well, anytime you're on television, that's something that's critical for your program and for your university. Ball games being telecast by ESPN Regional, so we're excited about that. Hopefully we will, by the way we play, the passion that we play with, represent our university in the state of Arkansas very well, and maybe create some new fans and sell our program to the recruits that are watching.
Talk about the quarterback situation. I know you're staying with this 2-quarterback system. It's worked pretty well for you. Do you think you're ever going to name it one starter, or are you going to maintain this probably throughout the season?
Well, we name a starter every week, but the other one is going to play. One of them is going to start the ball game, but they're both going to play. They're both very capable of leading our football team. It's been made out to some degree to be a controversy on our team, or a leadership issue, and nothing could be further from the truth. We have more of a controversy right now on who's going to return kicks than we do who's going to play at quarterback. So it's not an issue on our team. Both those guys have the faith and the backing of our entire football program, and both of them are capable of doing things that help us win. And frankly, we need them both to give us the best opportunity to win.
And they both bring totally opposite skills to the position. I mean, you got Leonard, who's kind of the scrambler runner. Hewitt, more the post-style offense.
I don't buy into that. I think both of them are really good athletes. Travis had 2 rushing touchdowns for us last week, and for those who hang around and watch, you'll see him run the football very effectively. I think he's been given that tag maybe by a lot of people because he doesn't scramble a whole lot in practice and that type of stuff. He's more solid in his reads, and he goes through his reads and throws the football away if he needs to, which Corey is more athletic, but not to any degree where they're totally drastic styles.
With play Arnold, how much he'll factor in not only the running game, but the whole game just shaped in sort of way?
Well, obviously Reggie's been a big part of our success so far this season, and he needs to continue to be a big part of our success. Last week and then in our win over Army, by playing physical up front in the offensive line, we were able to open up some creases for him to get into, and then he's great at making people miss or running over folks when those holes aren't there. We just need to give him a little bit of space, and he can make big things happen for our program. We need to be able to run the football. I mean, we've been that way since we came to Arkansas State. I think we've had a 1,000-yard rusher every year except for one, and that's when we had 5 tailbacks playing in the game. But we were still able to run the football, but we didn't have that one single guy. We still don't have that one single guy, although Reggie is the starter and the guy that gets the majority of the stats. Chris James had a heck of a ball game for us last week. Had a big run in the 4th quarter to get a first down, about a 25, 30-yard run to get a first down in the 4th quarter that allowed us to breathe a little bit easier. And then Cedric Wilkerson is back, and we've not been able to get him the holes that we have the other guys just yet, but he'll continue to play more and more each week.
Coach, Lancaster went out last week with an injury in their game. How do they change when Payne's behind under center?
They didn't change at all. The only thing they changed was they were behind at that particular time, so they did throw the football more, trying to catch back up. But he is a guy that can run the football and throw the football as well. May not be the running back that Kinsman Lancaster is, but he's a heck of a player.
Coach, historically, we haven't matched up well with the spread offense. What have we done with our defense to try to shore that up?
Well, we've worked on that since the first day of spring football last year. We've matched up with some spread teams very well. Some we haven't. We didn't match up with Missouri very well. We didn't do a good job against Louisiana Lafayette last year. We did a good job last year against Monroe. We played fairly well, except for the mistakes in the last part of the ball game. But overall, the spread offense and what they try to do is just spread you out and make you play tentative, make you play in space, try to get the ball to their playmakers out in space. And we've got to do a good job of doing our job and running to the football rather than just playing tentative or waiting on all the tricks, the reverses, the double passes, and that type of stuff. We've got to play very aggressive football and play fast.
You haven't announced a starter at quarterback
No,
for this week?
we have not.
Any other questions for Coach Roberts?
Coach Lacewell will be here.
Coach Lacewell will be there. There's a host of activities surrounding the weekend. I think they have a reception Friday night and a gathering at his house Saturday prior to the game, and then some activities during the game where they will honor them, I believe, at halftime of the game. Should be a great weekend.
Anything else, gentlemen? Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Around the